All right, we are now recording. Guys, welcome to the first ever Payday Products Workshop. This is something that I wanted to try out where we do a more exclusive workshop, essentially, where it's just a few of us who are dedicated, who are here, who are ready to learn. And, you know, obviously, what we all want most here is to figure out how to sell profitable products or what makes a profitable product on an apparel store. And today's itinerary, just so you guys know kind of what to expect, we have quite a bit to cover. I'm expecting us to go between 1 and 2.5 hours, depending on how active you guys are in the chat. And just so you guys know, no questions during the presentation. After each of these sections, we will be having a short Q&A, okay? So after why 4 to 5 winning products, we're going to have a Q&A about, well, actually, we're not going to have a Q&A about that section. We might, I can't remember. Before the product comes to the niche, we're going to have a Q&A after that section. Good products versus bad products, we're going to have a Q&A after that section. So I will not be looking at the chat while I'm presenting, though I will be looking at it during the Q&A sections, just so you guys know, because I want to stay on topic. Some of this content is a little more dense, and I think it'll really help you guys understand why certain products sell and why some don't, even though some products appear to be winners. So what we're covering today, why 4 to 5 winning products can change your life before the product becomes the niche. And this is something a lot of people, for lack of a better term, they kind of fuck up because they think that they can enter any niche. And guys, the truth is, and what we'll cover today, is that in a niche, you can sell apparel in any niche. However, using our business model, which is a lot of ads, right? And we're pushing impulse purchases to customers who are cold and who do not know us, not every niche makes money, okay? With that business model. And so it's important when choosing your niche that you're picking one that really supports the print on demand, cold customers never heard you before, sees your ad, and then buys, and it all happens in under 10 minutes. The right niche is crucial, and most people overlook that, and they're doomed from the start. So we'll be discussing that today. We'll be discussing good products versus bad products. That's the next part of the equation, because once you have a great niche, you still need a good product. And there are products out there that sell really well on Amazon, and they sell really well on Etsy, but they will not work with Facebook ads. They will not work with ads. And that is something we'll be discussing today. And we'll also be looking at live examples of good products and bad products. And then I'm actually going to be quizzing you guys on why the good ones sell and why the bad ones don't. And by the end, you should have a very, very clear understanding. And that's the key, guys, because the product research section is pretty straightforward. There are 2 tools we're going to show today, Jungle Scout and Everbee. Very straightforward tools that help you find winning products. And if you understand the niche, and if you understand why good products work and why bad products don't, you are set up for success. It's actually not the product research portion that most people struggle with. It is the niche and not understanding a good product versus a bad product when it comes to this business model. So that should excite you, because if you can figure those 2 out, which we will discuss today, the whole equation becomes so much easier. And it's like a huge aha moment. A light bulb goes off in your head and, oh my God, the entire world makes sense. Does that sound good? Give me a good in the chat if that sounds good. We're going to discuss researching winning products. So Amazon, Etsy, Google, and the Facebook ad library. Amazon and Etsy, as I'd mentioned, we're going to be talking about Jungle Scout and Everbee. So let's go on that. Very exciting. And then at the end, depending on how long we go, we may or may not discuss using AI to create those designs. That's not really something that I planned on doing during the workshop, but we might do it. So one of the number one questions that I have received since 2015, and just so you guys know, we've been running stores since about 2013, but we started teaching it in 2015. But one of the questions that I've received over and over again, I'm sure that many of you on this call have asked me this question: Devin, How many products do I need in my store before I can launch? Won't people think it's a scam if I only have a few products? Let me know in the chat. What do you guys think? What is a good amount of products that you should have to launch or before you launch? Let me know in the chat real quick. I'm going to open up a water. We have Ron with 10, Aaron with 5, Jerry with 10, 5, around 25, 10, 5, 4 to 5, 10, 1. All right, they're coming in too fast now. 5, 25. The truth is, 5 products can change your life. Okay. I wanted to show you guys this. This is the last 365 days on our store. And these are our top 5 products. Just obviously, we have more than 5 products, just to be clear. But our top 5 products alone generated $1,084,137 just from 5 products. If you can find 5 excellent products, it can change your life. You do not need to find a million products. Okay. Obviously, in the past year, you'll see we did $3,471,000 in sales, and that other like 2.4 million, right? It comes from a slew of like random products. So yes, having like those random products does boost sales. But if we only had these 5 products, we still would have generated over $1 million in revenue. And although that's life-changing amounts of money, and you're like, okay, that's cool, you made a bunch of money with that, but you also have more than 5 products. So I want to talk to you guys about a different industry, restaurants. And restaurants paint a really good picture for you guys, and they might help you understand why a 5-product store is not actually viewed as a scam. This is a limiting belief that you have. When we launch our stores, we're typically launching with between 5 and 20 products. It's not like we're launching a ton of stores. Over the last few years, we've launched maybe like 5. And then we've consulted on brands. And then, by the way, when we consult with brands, the first thing we do is make them delete a bunch of products. But I want to show you guys a comparison that might help you wrap your head around why it's actually not a bad thing to not have a ton of products. And it's restaurants. The truth is, in reality, less is more. So here's a post from Reddit. The fewer options a restaurant has, the better. The limited menu offers more confidence that the restaurant excels in these food items without a visit to Yelp or awkward conversations with the waitstaff. If you're a taco restaurant, serve tacos, not chicken fingers and nasty-ass salads. It's funny. Also, it limits the exorbitant amount of time it takes to look through your 50-page menu. Generally, the more items a restaurant has on its menu, the lower quality each item will be, with the exception of restaurants that can reuse the same ingredient in 15 different dishes. Life pro tip. The more items on a restaurant's menu, the less fresh the food is usually going to be. Guys, have you ever been to a really high-end restaurant? Let me know in the chat. Like, just say yes or no if you've been to a high-end restaurant. If you've been to a very high-end restaurant, you'll see that they usually have 5 to 10 items on the menu. They don't have a lot. And then you go to a diner or you go to like a Chinese restaurant or something that's really cheap, and their menu is going to be 10, 15 pages. And the truth is people view smaller selections as more targeted, and they view it as higher quality. It is very common in apparel that stores will do limited time drops. Ooh. In fact, God, there's a bug flying around me. In fact, I'll show you guys one right now. It's very common for stores to do limited drops and only have a few products on their store. So this is a very high-end store. It's called Allegory Clothing. We go to their homepage. Like, there's not a ton of products that we can look at or anything, right? There's nothing here. It's just like this banner, and it shows that there's 2 collections available. If we go, we can look at their products, and it looks like there's a ton of products here, but you'll notice that these 3 are all the same. These 3 are all the same product. And a lot of these are just, in total, just so you guys know, I counted earlier today, there's like 9 products total here. It's just they also have them on hoodies, t-shirts, and different colors. They don't have a lot of products. They have like 9 products. They just launched this the other day and they're already sold out of everything and they're charging $50 a piece. And that's because you as a store owner are assuming that people think, oh man, they only have like 5, 10, 15, 20 products, that this isn't a legitimate business. But that's your own limiting belief. And it's because you don't believe in yourself yet. You'll get there, but you don't yet. And so you assume that people will see through the veil. They will see the reality. They will see the truth. Oh my God, I'm not a real business owner. I'm not a real business. I only have a few products. It looks like a scam. It's not true. Those are all things you're telling yourselves. The truth is, just like with restaurants, when people see smaller catalogs, they assume more exclusivity. They assume higher end, right? Now, there are issues that start when, we sell our apparel for about $36.99 all in. That means including the shipping. And if we were to charge like $19.99 and we only had like 5 or 10 products on our store, then people assume like, what the fuck is this, right? Because that doesn't scream high quality and it doesn't scream exclusivity. But that store we just looked at, $50 per shirt, and they have like 9 products, right? Is this making sense to you guys? It's a limiting belief. Just give me a 1 because we already got a lot of yeses. Just give me a 1 if this is starting to make a little bit of sense to you guys. And don't worry, we're going to get into the product research section as well. But I need you to understand, I really want this to be clear with you guys because this isn't just a workshop about like finding products to sell. By the end of this call, you should have a core understanding of how products in e-commerce even work. So I only got like 14. I only got like 14 ones. Is there anybody who's unclear? Is this not making sense? Because there's a lot more than 14 people on here. Take a drink while I wait for the chat. And if nobody has a question, we're going to keep moving. Total sense. Okay. So there's also something that you guys may have heard of, and it's called the paradox of choice. And when I became an entrepreneur, like 14 years ago, this is one of the first things I studied was pricing options and the paradox of choice. So the paradox of choice, Why More is Less, is a book written by American psychologist Barry Schwartz, first published in 2004. In the book, Jerry, I'll answer that in a second. In the book, Schwartz argues that eliminating consumer choices can greatly reduce anxiety for shoppers. The book analyzes the behavior of different types of people, in particular, maximizers and satisfiers, I don't even know that word. The book argues that the dramatic explosion in choice from the mundane to the profound challenges of balancing career, family, and individual needs has paradoxically become a problem instead of a solution, and how our obsession with choice encourages us to seek that which makes us feel worse. So basically, in a nutshell, what this is saying is if you actually have a lot of products on your store, especially if a lot of them are similar designs, you're causing stress for shoppers and you're making them more likely to leave, not to purchase. And we've been preaching less is more since 2016. In the bottom left here is a post that my business partner Matt made in February of 2020. Tip of the day, review your store once a quarter and remove what doesn't sell well. It's just wasting space. We're using an app to remove over 100,000 variants from our store. We don't have that many products on our stores anymore, by the way. I don't know if you guys can hear this. My cat is like freaking out outside my door. I mean, I know you guys can't hear it, but he's just distracting. Your store should be filled with products people want, not products simply taking up space. Too many choices will cause people not to buy. This is data backed. Remove products and watch your conversion rate go up. This could be products that sell 0 times over the course of a quarter or products that sell below X amount. We personally remove anything that is in the bottom 10% of our store. And on the right, Matt says, in June of 2016, not all the time, check out how we're making more money by removing products from our store. And on the screen, it just says that by removing products from his store, he received a 3% average conversion rate bump and an increased average order value of 25%. And it's all because the paradox of choice. Correct, Adriana. You can remove products that don't sell well. You don't have to, but you can. But all of this comes down to the paradox of choice. If you have too many products, especially if they're very similar, and you find that they're not selling, it does not help to keep them in your store. It actually makes people less likely to buy from you. And by the end of today, you guys should have a pretty good understanding of what makes an actual good product. So you can get more good products on your store and reduce the waste, trim the fat, so to speak. So that is our intro on why it's okay to not have a lot of products and to just focus on finding 5 to 10 excellent products. I want to take a quick minute here to answer any questions you guys might have on that portion. So now is the time for questions in regards to what we've discussed. My cat is also done moaning. Thank God. Any questions, guys? It seems like everyone's good. Just give me a good in the chat if you're good, if you don't have any questions. Okay. Seems like everyone's good. We will have more spots for questions. So no worries here. We're going to get into a little bit of a deeper topic now. So I do assume you will have questions here. Is a product considered a t-shirt, but if you have multiple choices of t-shirts, is that still one product? Products and variations are obviously two different things. Yeah, I believe you guys are asking the same question. Yeah, like products and variants are different. Like it's still, so if we're looking, let's go back to allegory here, just so we can look at that. This looks like they have a bunch of different products, right? But in reality, let's say a product is a design. That makes it clearer. If we refer to a product as a design, I think that would be helpful for you guys, Tom and Derek, because there's only like 8 designs on the store, but it looks like they have a ton of products. And by the way, we don't do it this way. We will have them all under the same product as variants. John, that is totally up to you. John asks, we have 50 shirts in our store, been in business 2 months. Should we go back and delete 40 of them? What we would do is, and as you had seen here, we remove once per quarter, we remove the 10% of worst performers. So let's say we have 100 products. We would delete the 10 products that are performing the worst. We do that once per quarter. So that's for those of you who don't operate by quarters, that means 4 times a year, once every 3 months. Cool. Let's keep moving. We're going to get into good niches versus bad niches. And this is the most important part of the journey. Because if you do not start off with a good niche, I want to introduce, actually, let's talk about a tangent real quick, which is the production process. This is a quick lesson in entrepreneurship. Sorry, I had to burp. In the production process, the best thing you can do is find issues with production as early on in the process as possible. If you're building a car, you start with the bare parts, you get them shipped to the factory. The factory line starts to assemble them. You pay to ship them to dealerships. A customer comes and buys it, right? Let's say that's production process. It's much cheaper to discover that there's an issue with the car before you ship it to when there's just raw parts, right? Or after the car is assembled, rather than if it was assembled and it was sent to a dealership and a customer bought it, and then you have to do a recall. It is significantly cheaper to find those issues before it ever makes it even to a dealership. And it's going to be the same with your e-commerce business, because if you find out that your business model is broken from the start because you picked a bad niche, that's way cheaper than going into a bad niche, designing 100 products, running ads to all those products, right? It's much better to start from a very good spot than it is to waste a lot of money in a bad spot. And that is why the most important thing you're ever going to do is when you're selecting the niche that you sell in. So let's get into it. The first thing we need to understand is the idea of self-identity. If you want to pick a good niche, you must understand identity. because that's what we're selling to. We're not selling to people. We're selling to the idea that people have about themselves. We're going to go like more in depth about this, but does that make sense to anyone here? Does anyone want to put in the chat what they think that might mean? And I don't expect anyone to have the answers, but we're going to go pretty in depth on it. I just want to see if we have any geniuses here or any people who've been crushing it for a while. I imagine if you're in the product research workshop that you haven't. People buy a result. No, that is not correct, Richard. That's a nice guess, though. It's a good guess. That is, I would say in like service-based businesses. Derek says, I do, just terrible with words. I get that, Derek. I feel that. Jason says, good backstory. Kevin says, selling to who they want to be, not necessarily who they are. Very, very close, Kevin. Very close. Elizabeth said essentially the same thing. They buy an aspiration. Close, not exactly. People buy designs they identify with, says Joel. Joel is correct. But it's a bit more in-depth than that. I mean, Joel is correct, but we can go more in-depth than that as well. Tom says to become part of the club. That's fair. That is part of it. So self-identity. Personal identity is how you define yourself, encompassing your unique characteristics, including your interests, hobbies, values, and experiences. Interests play a significant shaping this self-identity, a significant role in shaping the self-identity, influencing several key aspects of who you are and who you are becoming. Here's how self-identity and interests relate. Interests as a reflection of the self. So people use interests as a form of self-expression. Hobbies and interests serve as channels for self-expression, allowing communication of one's own thoughts, emotions, and ideas. And by the way, this is a really complicated way to explain this, but as we go on, if you can understand this complicated explanation, you will make significantly more money. Because when we create designs, this is what we're tapping into. Okay? And if you understand this, it becomes really easy to make money. Values and priorities, right? So the activities one is drawn to often reflect their core values and their priorities. For example, a passion for environmentalism might manifest an interest like gardening or advocating for sustainable practices. And a window to your soul. Exploring interests can reveal innermost desires, aspirations, and what truly resonates with you. So, how do people express their identity? There are a few different ways people are expressing their identity through apparel. Essentially, by wearing the apparel items that we sell people, they're saying to the world, this is who I am. This shirt represents a piece of my identity. This shirt represents how I see myself or how I want to see myself. This shirt represents how I want the world to perceive me. This shirt represents what I want the world to know about me. And the types of identities that people express with apparel in that sense, their hobbies and their interests, right? Their values, their profession, social causes that they're passionate about, religious and political beliefs, and familial identity, mom, dad, husband, wife, dog mom, dog dad, right? And here are 8 different identity type things. I would take a screenshot of this, guys. Obviously, you're getting the recording, but get a screenshot of this and think of it as a cheat sheet. These are the 8 different ways that people are expressing their identities through apparel. People express their professional and occupational identity. We have healthcare workers, teachers, first responders, tech professionals, blue collar workers. Okay. They all wear, they don't all, but a substantial portion of them wear apparel that showcases who they are because they're proud of it. And I know this is true because we've sold a ton of shirts in blue collar niches. So think electricians, plumbers, roofers. We've sold, our first store was, the first products we sold were dog products, but first like real store was selling nurse apparel with little quotes, phrases, and things like that about being a nurse. And they want recognition, they want validation, and they balance their professional pride with personality and humor and fun. And just to show you guys what that might look like, a nurse is proud to be a nurse and they like to show that off to the world and also show a bit of their personality with it and say, hey, I'm quirky, I'm funny, I'm humorous. So blood is red, nurses are jaded, mess with us, and you'll get sedated. I don't know if this shirt sells well. Um, we we can look later, but it, and it might not be like a great design, but it does kind of express what I'm trying to show you guys that nurses have pride in what they do and they want to show people that. And they also want to be funny. They want to be cute. They want to express their personality. And they want the world to know that about them, that they're a nurse and that they're funny and they have a funny shirt, right? So that's number one, professional and occupational. We also have hobbies and interests. People want to express the world their hobbies. They want to express to the world the things they're interested in, the things that they're proud of, the activities that they take place in, right? So there's like sports teams, athletic activities, gaming and tech enthusiasm, outdoor activities such as hiking, camping, and fishing. There are creative pursuits, art, music, and writing, and then any other niche interests that they have. And the niche interests, someone had mentioned it earlier in the chat, but that's like feeling like part of the club. That's what these shirts are, right? The hobbies and interests. That's like, I'm a part of this club, man. Like I salsa dance and I disc golf. Upstairs in my I almost said pantry, but in my drawers where my clothes are, I have disc golfing shirts, like funny disc golf shirts. And I wear them when I'm around my disc golfing buddies because they laugh. It's funny. And I feel like we're all part of this little club. Now, I don't have any salsa dancing shirts because salsa dancing's too sexy. You know what I'm saying? You guys still following along? Just give me a yes in the chat if we're still following along here. Cool. And we're going to have a spot for questions regarding all this. The third way people express their identity is values and beliefs. So you'll see this a lot in workout apparel and in like inspirational apparel, right? But also in like environmental sustainability. So the values can be anything from if you don't work hard, you're a pussy ass bitch. Sorry, I know not everybody likes rude language. But it could also be, hey, I believe in men's mental health. And I believe men's mental health needs more like awareness. It can be about, global warming or whatever. Those are values and beliefs. And just to be clear, guys, you don't need all of these different things in your designs. I don't want to overwhelm you. But what I am saying is these are different things you can think about, different ways people express their identity. And this is very helpful when choosing a niche. For family and relationships, you guys, if you've been following us for a while, you've seen this a lot in our jewelry products because the print on demand jewelry, that's what that niche is all about, family and relationships. But people, they have identity. People who are moms, a lot of the times identify as moms. People, as my business partner, Matt, he has 2 daughters. He identifies as a girl dad and he buys girl dad stuff. And he posts about being a girl dad on Facebook. When people have kids, when people have dogs, when people have cats, when people are grandparents or whatever, it becomes a part of their identity. They resonate with it. They want the world to know that about them because they're proud of it. And so they get apparel. They get whatever, jewelry related to it. And it's the same. Like, and then you can even start doing cross intersectional. So like nurses are very proud of what they do. People, men or women who are married to nurses are also proud of what their partner does. And with that, you start to see like husband of nurse shirts. And you'll start to see cross intersection between these niches. I keep saying it differently. I'm like niche. You'll see some people never met their hero. I married mine, proud nurse husband. And that is an intersection of, oh, shoot. Shit, I mean. Can't believe I said shoot. Ugh. That is an intersection of the professional and occupational and the family and relationships. The husband identifies as a husband and they're proud of their nurse wife. And you see this a lot, but it all comes down to what people identify as. Nurse's husband, yes, she's working. No, I don't know when she'll be home. Yes, we're still married. No, she's not imaginary. So it's just funny, right? Proud nurse husband, proud nurse's husband. Warning, I belong to a nurse. Messing with me can be very dangerous to your health. Okay? People have beliefs about themselves. They view themselves. They want the world to know certain things about them. That's what we sell to. 5, cultural and heritage. Now, this one, you'll see things like ethnic backgrounds, regional pride, language, dialect, traditional patterns, and immigration stories. And to give you guys a good example would be like Italian American funny shirts, things like this. I'm both of them. And this is, dude, I'm honestly so retarded. I don't know if that's, it's an Italian flag. I'm like, is that an Irish flag or an Italian flag? See, guys, they got to fix the school system. Like, this is how we Italians cut carbs right here. It's about their identity as an Italian person. Okay. And just so you guys know, I personally wouldn't sell designs like this. I'm just trying to paint a picture and prove a point for you guys about how identity works and how that's what we're selling to. I see so many people choose designs and niches that don't speak to people's identity, and they wonder why it's not working. And maybe it's my fault for not being a better coach. And that's what we're trying to solve today. We have generational identity, another niche that I would not sell to, or I wouldn't go into this niche, but people do identify it as it. I identify as a millennial. Okay. Minimalist, nostalgic references. Oh, the 90s were so great. The early 2000s were so great. Gen Z, maximalist, trend driven, social media optimized. Gen X, quality over trends, subtle statements. Boomers, clear messaging, comfort focus. Okay. That's the kind of stuff that they buy. But people, they view this as part of their identity. We have a big one, fandoms in pop culture. Guys, I'm a huge, you can't see it, but behind right here, I have a huge collection of Red Rising, which is it's a book series, collectibles. I have signed books. I have first editions. I have advanced reader copies that before he even had a publishing deal, like all that stuff. People identify and they want the world to know about their interests. I have Red Rising t-shirts. I have another bookshelf upstairs that is filled with all the Red Rising special editions. Like Kevin says, who? Who what? What do you mean who? Who's the author? Pierce Brown. But yeah, there's movies and TV shows, music, arts, artists and bands, sports teams, gaming communities, literary references. Okay? So you can do quotes. So like anime quote t-shirt, right? This would be like a reference. That's not exactly what I was getting at. These are not good designs, so this isn't exactly what I was getting at. All right. Those aren't good, so we're just going to ignore those. We'll get into the actual product research later. And then we have micro communities, and that's where you have like more specific this is more specific people within a niche. So think of a big community as the dog niche, a micro community as Boston Terrier fans. Think of a big community as nurses. Think of a small community as ICU nurse or pediatric nurse. Or you have niche hobbies, like small niche hobbies. These are just highly specific interests. And these people, on average, buy 4 times as much. The thing is they're also much smaller. However, the messaging, the design is far more targeted, which means there's a lot more money to be made from it. Okay? Does that make sense? Just give me a yes in the chat. That makes sense. When we're trying to make impulse sales via ads, because that's something you guys need to understand about the business model that we're all operating in, right? Is we're trying to make people buy on an impulse, right? We're trying to show them an ad and we're saying, click on this ad, go to my website, look at this shirt or hoodie or hat, buy it now. Give me your credit card info. I'll ship it to you. And we're trying to get people to do that. Like, The whole process takes like 5 minutes. That's our business model. And the only way that we're going to accomplish that is by being as closely tied to someone's identity as possible. They need to see our design and be like, oh my God, that is so me. Or, oh my God, my friends will love this. They will laugh at this. Oh my God, I need to have this. It can't be some generic design that doesn't mean anything. Generic designs that don't mean anything sell well too, guys, but they don't sell well with our business model. And don't worry, we're going to look at examples and stuff like that. But it needs to be close to their identity. They need to see it and be like, oh my God, this is me. Okay. And if you want to put that in simpler terms, what we're selling must be something that people are both extremely passionate about and they want to express to the world that they're extremely passionate about it. Okay. So, some examples of great niches for ads. Sorry, I'm a little congested. Examples of great niches for ads. Politics. Politics are extremely divisive. That means people feel extremely strong about it. And it's tied extremely close to people's view of themselves. People identify as right wing, left wing, libertarian, LGBTQA plus Y. I have nothing against gay people, just so you know, just a joke. Blue collar or first response professionals. They're very proud of their career. And people who are in these careers, a lot of the time, it's a generational thing. Their dad was, their grandpa was. Pet owners, right? We have the old cats versus dogs, or my dog breed is better than your dog breed. People align their identity with the type of dog they own and they like to show it off. People with big pit bulls, they're like, yeah, my dog's badass. People with Boston Terriers like me are like, yeah, well, your dog's ugly. Dude, my dog's cute as shit. He has so much energy. We play all the time and he's great at cuddling. Let's go. Boom. Yeah, Boston Terrier's better. Baby, let's go. We have religion, and it's essentially the same as politics. Very, very, very divisive. People who are Christians, very passionate about it. People who are not Christians usually don't care. I'll be honest, there's a lot of live and let live. But the people who are Christian, they're very passionate about it. Politics is a little different because if you're on the right these days, people are like, you fucking racist piece of shit. And I'm like, listen, dude, I'm just chilling. I'm just here with my cat, I'm just chilling. I'm watching anime. But then you have bands, hobbies, and interests. Sorry, guys, my ADHD was getting the better of me for a second there. We also have bands, hobbies, and interests. These are core interests. These are the core beliefs people have about themselves. The type of music they listen to, the type of hobbies they have, how they spend their time, right? Now, bad niches. And just so you know, I'm not saying you can't make money in these niches. What I am saying is it is not easy to sell them via impulse buys. It is not easy to take someone who doesn't know you, sell them products in these niches, and expect them to buy within 5 minutes on an impulse buy. Because these types of niches in this example, they're just not as aligned with people's views of themselves. They're just not as passionate about these things. They don't want the world to know these things. So think of hobbies that are less social or that people don't really do in group settings or that they do, but it's not like a core part of their identity. Gardening is an example. A lot of people garden, but do they go to gardening clubs? Do they spend a lot of time discussing gardening with their friends? It's not something people typically express to the world. My friends who I salsa dance with, we love to discuss salsa. We talk about it nonstop. We go out salsaing. We can salsa till 4 a.m. My friends who I play disc golf with, we have group chats. We share talks about disc golf all the time. We share videos. We go out multiple times a week. And then you have vague designs and hobbies. An example of a vague design would be a design that just says dog dad. Okay, great. Instead, you could focus on things like specific breeds. Dog dad. Okay, yeah, sure am. But people don't care. Like, people aren't expressing to the world they're a dog dad, but they are expressing to the world that they're a pit bull loving son of a gun. I don't know. I've never sold pit bull shirts. And the vague stuff, it can work. You guys might remember we used to own this store. We do not own it any longer, sold it. But like pause, very basic designs that are like not, you know, this isn't going to work for most people. And the reason why is because we spent a absurd amount of time growing pause brand. Okay. Huh, looks like the page isn't up anymore. That's crazy. We don't own this brand anymore. So, but this store did over $40 million in sales, 200,000 followers, 12.8 million likes, 963,000 followers on Facebook. Like that is why we could make the vague stuff work. But if you're new and you're trying to get that impulse purchase, and by the way, that's what we specialize in, the impulse purchase. That's not a good route to go. And then your own branded design. Some people come in, this isn't very common, but I have some people who come into our courses and stuff, and they try to make up their own brand and they try selling that. Can you make money doing that? Yes, of course. Brands like Louis Vuitton, Polo, they're massive. There's so many brands out there that it's just their logo, but it's a ton of work and it's not going to work with impulse purchases. If you were going to do that, I would go the influencer route, but that's not something we do. Okay. That concludes the niche selection section. I want to discuss with you guys now any questions you have. If you have questions about good designs versus bad designs, do not ask because that is literally the next section that we'll be discussing. But does anybody have any questions so far? I thought we were going to have tons of questions, guys. I'm honestly like, so does that mean everybody's getting it? Does this all make sense so far? Let me know your guys' thoughts. I'm thinking of car enthusiast because I'm a car guy myself, but of course, there is a lot of so-called sub-niches. Yeah, so that's the thing is you're totally correct. And what you'd want to do is you would want to sell like shit like this. So this is a really popular design right now where it's like need money for Porsche. And you do want to sell to those sub niches. You can't just sell to car enthusiasts. It's not easy. But this is something that is advertised heavily on Instagram and stuff. It's a cool design. People love Porsches, you know, stuff like that. You got to go for the people who are passionate about the GT3 RS, the people who are passionate about the Ricer cars. And I hope Ricer is not racist. I don't know. I don't know what else to call them. Mark, I don't understand your question. I'm sorry. Mark asks, how do you test response to design at a micro level? I don't know, Mark. I don't quite understand the question. I'm sorry. Let's see. Can you try just rewording the question? My son wants me to sell fuck Trump t-shirts. Is this something to do? Yeah, we're going to cover that a little bit actually. So we're going to go over some political designs and we'll talk about that. Elizabeth says, I'm doing politics, but going for unity message, trying to make unity kind of controversial. Unity is brave, but I've been struggling to get past Facebook ad requirement issues. Yeah, Elizabeth, I remember talking to you about this a little bit in circle. If you're the one, maybe someone else is doing it, but I believe it was you. And, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't think unity is a niche that you're going to have success in. Divisive is what sells. As sad as it is. And that's why, the other person said, fuck Trump shirts, right? Like those will sell because it's divisive. It speaks to people's identity. Unity is not something that people feel strongly is a core part of their identity. Because the people who believe in unity, what they believe in is live and let live. They don't try to impose their beliefs on others. F Trump shirts won't pass ad requirements. I mean, yeah, they will. You just have to censor them and stuff. I've seen people selling them. Okay, Mark, what is the magic number of population you would consider a great niche? Tom, listen, you can sell, there's micro niches that you can sell extremely well in. So I'm not here to tell you that one is better than the other. We try to go for at least 10 million, but it doesn't, it depends on your income goals. It depends on a lot of things. I made early on in my store career, you guys may see this beautiful Boston Terrier on my screen right now, Brutus. Early on in my career, I sold Boston Terrier apparel. I made about $10,000 a month on average. It's a small niche. It's like 300,000 people. And I made 120,000 after all my costs and stuff. My profit margins were pretty high actually. I made like $45,000 and I worked on it an hour a day. So it's up to you. We recommend 10 million, but do what you will. Petrol versus electric cars might be an interesting idea. Yeah, I haven't looked into that. I'll be honest with you. I drive a Tesla. There's definitely some people, but I wouldn't say it's that big of a market. I'm telling you right now, you want to go after the very specific cars that people love. You want to go after the GT3 RS. You know, think of that. The cars that people are really passionate about, that have like cult followings, because there's a million plus dudes out there who love cars like that. Or think of, I'm not like a big car person, I'll be honest with you. So I don't really know which ones are super passionate. I know the GT3 and other 911s are. Yeah, so you'll have to look into it. We have had a customer who had some success in that niche, like one of our clients here at Scup, and they went targeted. Okay, my opinion is not enough. Who do you ask other than convincing yourself that your design is good? Mark, we're gonna discuss right now what makes a design good or bad, and then we're gonna get into product research methods. It's just about having a system. It's about understanding everything we've talked about so far, and then understanding what makes a good product to buy via ads, and then looking at social signals and looking at what's already selling. And we're gonna cover all that. Elizabeth, I don't have the answer to that because I've never done that. Elizabeth is asking about licensing. I've never done any licensing deals. I am sad to say I cannot help you there. I wish I could. But you can consult. There's a lot of lawyers that you can consult with out there. You can even ask ChatGPT, as lame as that sounds. But they did say that ChatGPT is performs better than 94% of lawyers do on the bar test. So, you can talk to them about that. There's laws around it. Fair use is what you're going to want to look at. Yeah, you're going to want to look at fair use laws. But I don't feel comfortable giving advice here because I've never done any licensing type stuff or sold anything that could be misconstrued. All right, guys, I'm going to get a drink real quick. So let's say about 60-second break, okay? And then we're going to get into good products versus bad products. So 60-second break, then we'll keep it moving. Let me know in the chat so far what your thoughts are, guys. Is this helpful? Let me know your thoughts on everything we've covered so far. Is it helpful? What's been most helpful? Let me know. Be right back. All right, I'm back. Let's see. Guys, come on. I only got 7 responses. We got more than 10 times as many people on here. What are your thoughts? Let me know. Am I doing a good job, bad job? Is it easy to understand? Is it helpful? Sounds good, says Jerry. All good so far, says Joel. All right, well, okay. So good products versus bad products, guys. And important caveat here. Just because I label a product as a bad product does not mean that it's not selling. There are products that sell well that will not work with our business model. I've already explained that, okay? When I say something is a bad product here, all I'm saying is it probably won't work through ads. It probably won't work with our business model. Yep, I know the chat is panelists and only. I explained that at the beginning of the call, why we're doing that, just because I don't want any distractions. There's no value that you'll get in the chat. The value is from me talking right now, baby. So a good product will stand out. It will instantly grab attention. It will make someone laugh, although it's not required to make them laugh. Not all designs are funny. It will trigger passion within them. And in some cases, depending on the niche, it should offend people who are not part of the niche. A right-wing t-shirt should offend a left-wing person, okay? A religious shirt should offend the deepest atheist who hates religion, A left-wing shirt should offend a right-wing person or like a super right-wing person, okay? Does that sound good in the chat? Do we understand this? Products must give me a yes if we understand. Should stand out, grab attention, sometimes makes someone laugh, triggers passion, and it should offend those who are not a part of the niche in some niches. And now we'll get into good products and bad products. On the left here, we have best dog mom ever. Just ask Charlie. And it's customizable. You can upload a photo of your own dog. And on the right, we have dog mom with just a paw. Can anybody tell me why the product on the left is good or why the product on the right is bad? This is the part where you guys start expressing to me that you understand these concepts. Please, like, even if you don't know if you know the answer, I really want you to try here. I really want everyone to try to answer this because I really just need you to interact because that is how you're going to, digest this information. Left is personal, right is generic. On the right, there's no connection. On the right, specific versus vague. Left is personal, and that means passion. Right, you could buy at Walmart. The one on the left is personalized, so it speaks to the person wearing it. Yes, exactly. People love their dog. This is what we'd express. And this, by the way, guys, is a way that you can go into a niche. Like, remember how we talked about sub-communities? Like, we talked about how you can sell Boston Terrier stuff, right? And how that would perform better than selling to just generic dog. Personalized products like this is how you can sell to Boston Terrier. It's how you can sell to Labrador. It's how you can sell to Pit Bull and yet still be broad. Because in your ad, you can show the shirt with the Boston Terrier and you can sell it to Boston Terrier fans. And then they get to the product page and they're like, oh, they just upload a picture of their dog. But hey, you had way more targeted ads. So you're going to get more conversions and they're going to be cheaper. And then you create another ad. And this time there's a pit bull on the shirt. And you run it to the same product page. But people are going to convert better because you're targeting a passionate audience. And the ads contain pit bulls. Does this make sense? This really opens you up. And you can do personalized product on Shopify and Etsy. And if you guys want, I don't think, and just so you guys know, we don't really sell a lot of personalized products. So we've never done a training on it before. It's something that we've looked into doing a lot, but we're not really doing it right now. But if you guys want us to cover more about personalized products, no, Derek, I don't believe you can. If you want to sell personalized products, I'll talk to Matt and we'll get some personalization training. But does this make sense? Only 3 people told me that this makes sense. Does it make sense how you can both niche down and go broad with these personalized designs? Okay. Hell yeah. Let's look at another example. On the right, because dogs. On the left, the dog father. Now, the design on the left is something interesting. Can anybody tell me what it is? The good product is something interesting. Tom said it. Tom says the movie. Jason says movie related. So, guys might remember earlier we talked about how do people express their identity. We have fandoms in pop culture. Godfather, one of the most iconic movies of all time. People love it. Fun fact, I've never seen it. And people love their pets. Down here, we have 4, which is family and relationships, pet parents, and then 7, fandoms and pop culture. We have an intersection between these two. Just like earlier on in the presentation, we showed an intersection of family and relationships and professions and occupation with I am the husband of a nurse. So we are getting super targeted here. We're showing someone, we can target Boston Terrier owners. Boston Terrier owners will buy this shirt because it's cool. Okay? Forget the fact that it has the Godfather or the Godfather reference. People will buy the shirt if they're a Boston Terrier enthusiast just because it's cute. It's got a Boston Terrier on it. But then it's also going to reach a lot of people who love the Godfather. And it will convert even better on that audience. It really speaks to things people are passionate about. People buy Godfather shirts just on their own. Like people go out there and buy Godfather shirts. Like people go out there and just buy these things. I mean, look at this. This product has 353 reviews. Like people go out there and they buy Godfather shirts because it is a form of identity. And then you pair the two, and all of a sudden you're making magic happen. But the bad product, and people sell products like this all the time. And this is the thing, guys. Is this because dogs shirt on the right? People might buy that. It might actually make a lot of sales. But when you're running ads to it and you're trying to get someone to go from never hearing of you to making an impulse purchase, the product on the right just doesn't speak to anybody. They're just like, yeah, because dogs. They're like, what? Yeah, my fucking house is dirty as shit because of my stupid dogs getting in the trash and knocking everything over. Tell you about because dogs, you know? But on the left, people see the dog father and they're like, dude, I love my Boston. I love the Godfather. I need this shirt. This is sick. These are two things that I love. This is sick. I need this. Have you ever said that about anything? Let me know in the chat, guys. Have you ever seen an ad in your newsfeed and you're like, dude, I need this? Let me know in the chat. Let's see. I can probably go on Instagram right now and find something that I want. Jennifer says, absolutely. Let's see. I'm scrolling through Instagram here real quick. Let's see if I can find a shirt. My Instagram feed is so good right now. Like it knows exactly what I want, which is all. Yep, here it is. Just scrolled for a second and we've got a One Piece. It's an anime One Piece t-shirt. They're speaking to one of my loves, anime. And it's a reference, by the way, this t-shirt. It doesn't say One Piece. I wouldn't buy a t-shirt that just said One Piece. It is a reference to the restaurant that one of the characters came from, Baratai or Barati. That shows in Japanese. I don't know how to say it in American English. I can't believe I just said American. But let me see. Let me actually see if I can pull this up on my screen for you guys and I'll show you just to give you guys an example. We'll pull this shirt up on my screen. Okay. So this is what I just got hit with in an ad. And it's an anime shirt, as we've talked about pop culture references, right? And this is something that I would make an impulse buy from. In fact, just so you guys know, my birthday is in 2 days, July 2nd. And I sent someone this shirt to buy me. And it hit me as an ad in my newsfeed because it is hitting on everything we've talked about. It is something I identify myself as, but it's specific enough. It's not vague. It doesn't just say the name of the anime. It doesn't just say One Piece. It is specific enough that only someone else who loves the anime would understand it. And then they would comment on it when I see them in person. And that's why I want it. Because they'd be like, dude, that's a sick ass shirt. I love One Piece, versus just a generic this. Well, a lot of these are like pretty in depth, but let's see if we can find one that's just the logo. Yeah. If it was like just this, like I wouldn't buy it. People would know what it is, but it's just like, it doesn't feel as exclusive. Okay, let's go on to the next example. Now we have the right-wing niche. What do you guys think? Why does the one on the right a bad product? Why is the one on the left a good product? Let me know in the chat. Thank you, by the way, Kathleen. Kathleen, wish me a happy birthday. Come on, guys. Let me know in the chat. What's the deal here? Carla says political. Yeah, they're both political shirts, technically. The one on the right is not controversial. But what else? Right is not offensive. That's true. But what else? What else is wrong with the right one? Generic, hits all Americans, boring, it's meh. But you guys know what's crazy is that shirt probably sells pretty well. In fact, these are the kind of shirts that they would have in like Target, that they would have in Walmart, right? So why doesn't it work with our business model? And it's just like you guys are saying. The left is a statement. The left says, this is who I am. This is what I believe in. This is what I'm passionate about. This is all I fucking watched on the news for the past 12 years. Kevin says it's hard to target the niche on the right. No, it's not. 50% of Americans are passionate about America. It's not hard to target those people. They just don't care about this shirt. That's all. Actually, I'm sorry. a lot more than 50% of people are passionate about America. People on the left and the right are passionate about America. What I'm getting at is 50% of America is right wing, and right wing people are more likely to wear American apparel. But the product on the right, it just says, and the reason I use this specific design, by the way, is because we've had a lot of customers try to sell designs like this. The political niche is it's the easiest niche to make money in. I've made YouTube videos about it. It's so passionate. You can make so much money in this niche. We've personally made over $30 million in the niche back in 2020. There's so much money to be made, but you need something that speaks to people's identity, who they view themselves as, what they want the world to know about them. The design on the left does that. It says, I'm MAGA as fuck. The design on the right just says America. It's not a bad design. It just falls flat. People just don't care about it. That's all. We got another political example here. On the right, we have an eagle with the American flag, and it says, we the people. It's not a bad design. There's nothing wrong with it. On the left, we have a shirt that says fraud, and it's got like the Democrat logo or the Biden logo, or I actually don't know exactly what logo that is, but it's supposed to be representative of one of the political logos, probably like Biden Harris or something like that. I don't know. Someone in the chat probably knows. But the one on the left says fraud, and the one on the right says we the people. The one on the left sells well. The one on the right doesn't sell as well. They're both good designs. But the one on the left performs because so many people are passionate about the election being stolen or whatever. And we're not going to get into all that because I don't care. We're not here to talk about that. Do I have thoughts on it? Yeah. Do I want to talk about them right now? No, I kind of have a headache, to be honest. But the one on the left, it gets people riled up. It says something to them. It's something they believe in. The one on the right is just the Constitution and the flag. And yes, those are important things. They are. Nobody's saying that they're not. We all agree that that is important. But it's not something people identify and want to express about themselves. You'll sell some of these, but the shirts like the ones on the left, that's what makes you millions. You guys remember early on, I showed you this. 5 products that made us $1 million in a year. Carol, that's funny. That's not what it is, Carol, but that's funny. 5 products made $1 million in a year. And that's because it adheres to principles like this. They're designs that people want to share that express themselves and help them express their identity to the world. That is the most important thing. Up to this point, we've shown you how to do like product research tools and stuff like that. But once you understand this concept, Derek, have you ever heard the expression, when you talk to everybody, you talk to nobody? Strategy 101. When you speak to everyone, you're speaking to no one. Messages that talk to everybody, Derek, nobody cares about them. They're not passionate. They're not filled with values. They don't say anything. Cool. All right, good. Yeah, I'm glad you're getting it. Let's keep going. Gardening. Guys, this is a one I'm passionate about. I'm like hating on gardening today. I had it in examples of bad niches, and I have it here. But there are good products you can sell in gardening. The issue is most people sell products like this one on the right here. Now, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, guys, why is the one on the left good? Why is the one on the right bad? By the way, I bought a shirt similar to this one on the left once. I'm not into gardening, but I did have an identity for 5 years as a vegan. And I had a shirt that said, I'm vegan from my head to my toe. So I had a shirt that was like this. Vegan from my head to my toes. See? Even I'm victim. Guys, come on. Where's the chat? Where are we at? Only Jerry responded here. Why is the left good? Why is the right bad? I know that you've probably already typed the answer. It's okay. You can type it again. I promise only good things will come from it. Tom says the left is a play on words and love for tomatoes. That's true. The one on the left is funny. The one on the right is very generic. So a lot of people, if we go to like, I don't know, I just Googled gardening product, gardening t-shirt. A lot of people will come here and they'll see something like this, never enough plants. They'll see 56,000 reviews from this shop, right? And they're like, wow, this is amazing. I should buy this. And it's clearly not a bad design. It clearly sells a decent amount. I'm not sure they changed the UI. I'm going to show you guys a really cool tool today. Or they'll sell something like this, right? Like Garden Girl. And they see the reviews and they're like, well, it's a good product to sell. And it is a decent product. The issue is they're selling it for $9.90 and it would never work on ads because it's generic and it speaks to no one. Okay? The only reason people are buying this, it's most likely bought as gifts. They expect it to be shitty quality, but they're buying it because it's $9.90. If someone tried to sell this for $35 via Facebook ads, it just wouldn't work. And it wouldn't not work because people are selling it here for $10. That's not the reason it wouldn't work. Okay? Because most shirts that people sell, you can go buy from AliExpress for like $5. Any shirt that we sell, we have tons of knockoffs that sell way cheaper than us. But people buy from us because we know all of the information we've shared here today. The one on the left, it's funny. It does a cross intersection of it makes it clear that it's about gardening, first of all. The one on the right doesn't do that, but people who are in gardening still try to sell products like that. The one on the left makes it clear it's about gardening, and then it's funny. It makes people laugh. And a target market for a shirt like this would be a woman between the ages of like 50 and 70 who loves gardening. And she would wear this because it's cute and it would make her friends laugh and she would want to show her family. Does that make sense? I know it makes sense. All right. We're going to go into religious shirts here. This is our last example, and then we're going to do some live over-the-shoulder product research. Good product versus bad product. On the right, peace, love, Jesus. Not a bad shirt. Okay? Not a bad shirt. But it is a bad product to sell using our business model. The left, what the hell? What the hell? Can't believe I just said that. The left, hungry. Why wait? Scriptures. It's a play on words. It's a play on a very popular ad, the Snickers ads, like you're not you when you're hungry. And the shirt says, blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. And it's saying, people are saying when you're not yourself, eat a Snickers. This shirt is essentially saying, if you don't feel good, read some scripture. It's a fun shirt. It plays on Snickers is doing all the advertising for them already. People say that and they're like, oh, that's funny. And it's like the Snickers thing. It's like the Snickers commercial. And it has a message that I love. And they buy it. Honestly, the product on the left here is probably the best one we've looked at in this whole, all these examples. And that's a really big store, by the way, Caruso. I think they're doing, so if you wanted to get into the religious niche, I think these guys are the biggest ones in the niche right now, Caruso. So if you want to look at religious, like these guys are the number one in the niche right now. They're doing probably over 50 million a year. I don't know how much they're doing. That's a guess. But they're doing a lot. And look, again, so like we saw they have the Snickers product here, right? Now they have the his name is wonderful. So Wonder Bread, Jesus is the bread of life, John 6:35. It's hitting pop culture. It's hitting the interest, religion. Okay. That's it for the examples. We're going to get into over-the-shoulder product research. Guys, questions. Now is the time. Let me know. Like, guys, I'm not, this is a masterclass. This is like way more in depth than we've ever done in product research before. I wanted to ensure you had every little thing that you needed to understand why products sell. Let me know in the chat. Do you feel more confident now? Jennifer, I don't believe you would have any. Jennifer asks, is there trademark or copyright issues with these? No. And keep in mind, like, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm like 90%. So this isn't legal advice. 90% certain that this falls under fair use, like 95% certain. Do you think good designs should have a message on our Facebook ads? Are you asking if the design should have text? If we look here, you'll see like almost every design has texts. Like most of the time, it's going to have text. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. I'm much more confident now. I feel more competent. I have way more understanding. Yes, I feel more confident. Yes, 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 I feel more confident. Hell yeah. I'm European. Do I have to know American people better if I sell in the USA? It really depends on the niche that you're selling in. If you're selling like right or left wing stuff, yes. If not, no. I mean, you just need to know about the niche. Like things are pretty universal. People who are into fishing are into fishing. Feels like I know more what not to do, says Jennifer. And yeah, and that is like, Katie, we already answered that question. No, fair use. Pay attention, guys. I'm not going to be answering the same questions multiple times. How important is it to have a good store name, generic or creative? It's actually, Tom, it's not important at all. We used to be in the religious niche, and our store name had nothing. It's okay, Katie. I'm just giving you a hard time. Our store name had nothing to do with it. In fact, our store name made 0 cents, and we still sold over 8 figures on that store. And then you can look here. I'm saying this is one of the biggest Christian brands, Tom. Their brand name is Caruso. I actually don't know what Caruso means, so maybe that is like a religious term. Okay, so Caruso is a Greek word meaning to herald, proclaim, or preach the gospel. So yeah, I guess that is like a religious thing, but it doesn't matter. I'm telling you, it's much better to just launch. Your designs are what matters most. Just don't choose like some shitty, weird name. Like, don't choose something really random and overly complex. The biggest thing that's fine, Tom. That's fine. Yeah. I'm not going to say it out loud just to maintain your privacy. But the biggest thing is that people can remember it and Google it. Kevin, that should answer your question. It should be easy to spell and easy to remember so people can Google it later. If it is overly complex, if it's like overly long, if it's some weird word like Caruso, I honestly don't think this is a good name, but they're proving me wrong because they are extremely successful. Any more questions, guys? Should you include your URL at the bottom of your design? No. Just focus on the design itself. Jason, you don't need to do that. Let's take a look at these guys' ads. So we'll look at these guys' ads, and they do include their brand name in their ads. So they're doing it. Man, these guys love these. Like, we have like this ketchup stuff. Ketchup with Jesus. Got the Snicker shirt here. They love those kinds of products. Okay, guys, any more questions or are we ready to move on? To the person behind me, Jesus loves you and he's waiting to hear from you. What are we thinking, guys? Move on? All right. Okay, so now what we're going to get into is over-the-shoulder product research, guys. We're going to be going over 3 different methods, essentially. We have Jungle Scout, then we're going to go through Everbeat, and then we're going to do Google search with the Facebook ad library. You guys, sorry, I'm burping from this Coke Zero. But you guys are getting examples. I just gave you an example of the Facebook ad library trick right here. Where we go to the Facebook ad library to see what's selling well. And we did that with Caruso here. So they've been, just to give you guys an example, they've been running an ad here since May 30th. So this is like their longest running ad. So it's an idea that this could be a design of theirs that's probably selling pretty well. Pick Jesus. Cool. You know, guys, these guys might not be doing as much revenue. I know that they're really successful because I just saw them donate $50,000 to actually St. Jude charity. So like Ryan Trahan. I believe I saw these guys donate $50,000. Yeah, Caruso, they donated $55,555 to St. Jude. So I had just kind of assumed that they were very successful because of that. Anyways, we're getting off topic. Let's get into it. Over the shoulder research, I'm going to share my screen and we're going to show you guys how to use Amazon and Jungle Scout to find good designs. And I'm going to put this link in the chat for you guys, junglescout.com. Don't worry about it right now. Sign up later if you haven't yet. But this is one of the main product research methods that we use to find designs to sell. Sorry, we're going to switch browsers because that was Firefox, and I do not use Firefox for product research. I use Brave because I cannot use Chrome extensions on Firefox. Okay, sorry, I'm just pulling up my screen, getting things ready for you guys. Guys, I got a new tattoo. Toward pain. A lot of issues in my marriage. I'm recently divorced. A lot of issues in my marriage, a lot of issues in business came from me not willing to be moving towards pain, always taking the easy path and stuff. So I got a new tattoo to represent that to myself and remind myself, embrace difficult things, embrace hard things, push yourself out of your comfort zone. So a little bit of Devin lore to share with you guys. Okay, so two main product research websites we use, Amazon and Etsy. And like I said, we're going to be using two different tools for product research. We're going to be using Jungle Scout to research on Amazon, and we're going to be using Everbee. Everbee to research on Etsy. Okay. And to sign up for Everbee, I'm going to put this link in the chat for you guys too. It is scup.net/Etsy. That one is an affiliate link. So if you sign up to Everbee through that link, we get like $9 or something. I don't have an affiliate link for Jungle Scout though. But yeah, if you sign up to Everbee through that link, we get $9. So, if you want. If not, you can just go straight to Everbee's website via Google. But the two things that we're going to be doing to find designs through these websites is literally just coming to Amazon and coming to Etsy and searching. Now, the really important part is that you have kind of taken in everything that we've covered so far. Sorry, there's a bug on my mic. Because there are a lot of designs that sell well on Amazon and Etsy that would not sell well via our business model. And that is why I didn't come straight to this. Because if I came straight here and I did like funny gym shirt, there are shirts on here that probably sell well that would not sell well via ads. And that was why it was so important that I shared all of that other stuff with you first. Okay. Does that make sense? Can I just get you guys to say yes in the chat real quick? First, so I know you're still awake, and second, so I know that you guys understand why we just went through everything we just did, because that was an hour and a half. Okay. So what we do is we come here, we did our search, and what you guys are going to notice is below each design, because of Jungle Scout, okay, this product that we pay for. By the way, let's look at the pricing. It is $49 a month. So it is a bit expensive, but it's worth it. We've been using it for a couple years now. And what it does is it shows me how much revenue each of these products make. So I can see that this shirt, this isn't a shirt that we could sell because it's a branded product, but we can see that they sell about 164 of them a day, 3,900 of them a month, and they make $78,000 a month just from this one listing. So what we can look at is here we have a little bit of an intersectional interest. So this could be a good design to sell because it is both an intersect of right wing and weightlifting. Statistically, people on the right are more likely to lift weights anyways. So you can target both niches. You could target people who are interested in weightlifting, most likely to hit a right wing person if you do that. Or you can just target all of America because 50% of Americans are right wing. So this is a good example of a design. Is it going to make you rich? Not necessarily, but it could be your first sales. And it is $2,100 in monthly revenue, right? So they're selling 138 of these a month, essentially. and you would actually be selling them for more. Let's say you're selling it for more than about $34.99. And I know you guys are going to ask, why would they buy it from me if they could buy it from Amazon? We'll cover that. If you sold it for the same price that we sell at, that's $5,000. It's actually $4,828.62 a month in revenue. Now, some of you might be wondering, Devin, why would they buy it for me at $34.99 if they could buy it here at $15.29? You have to remember something. Everything we're doing is based off of impulse purchase. If you do it right, they shouldn't be looking elsewhere. Most of the time, 90% of the time, when it comes to apparel, this isn't the same for electronics. This isn't the same for things like deodorant. This isn't the same for things like beard trimmers. But when it comes to print on demand apparel, people automatically assume that your store is the only place they can buy it. And if the product is good enough and it hits on the identity well enough, like we've discussed, they're not going to Google. And another thing is when people sell products at $15, the first thought people have, do you guys know? Let me know in the chat. What is the first thought that a lot of people have? What do you think when you see an incredibly priced or incredibly low priced graphic t-shirt? Poor quality, cheap or scam, low quality, cheap. Everyone's saying cheap quality. It is actually not good to sell your products this cheap off of Amazon. On Amazon, it's an Etsy, it's whatever. People are used to it there. But if you were to run an ad to a product that cheap, people automatically assume it is a scam. And yeah, I'll show you guys an example. Yesterday, I was actually shopping. So just to talk about one piece, lamp. Okay. I was looking for a one-piece lamp. This right here. This is the exact lamp I bought. So I bought this yesterday, and there were a ton of different listings. So one-piece Luffy lamp. Tons of different listings, and apparently I can't find any of them. Okay. So this is the one I ended up buying right here, $46. But there were tons of different listings. There were some that were like $6. There were some that were like $15. There were some that was $9, but I got this one. And it's because I saw that it was high quality and it had reviews. And I know you guys might be thinking, well, I don't have reviews, but the main reason I bought it is because I just assumed it was going to be higher quality than these other suppliers. The reality is they're probably all the same. But I bought this one because I felt most comfortable with my purchase on this one. I know what you guys are thinking, like, what the fuck is this weird ass lamp Devin bought? I like anime. What can I say? So, point being is I had cheaper options. I knew cheaper options existed, and I still didn't go with it. Oh my God, I might buy these socks. These socks are sick. Save this for later. Wait, what the heck? How do I get to the socks? There we go. I'm gonna save this for later, guys. Look at this. This is a deal, dude. 99 cents for these socks. Okay, let's get back to business. Does that make sense, though? You guys get what I'm saying? One Piece is an anime, Jay. It's an anime that I really like. But does that make sense? Like, cheap products, what do people think about them? They literally think they're cheap. Oh, my Devin's shopping, says Kathleen. Yeah, whatever. It was cool. Another good one right here. The socks might be kid size. Don't worry, Mark. I'm going to research later. I'm going to do some research. The page was in Spanish, so I couldn't read any of it. I'm going to have to go on a browser and translate it later. But here we have another good shirt, but let's keep looking because I want to see some bad shirts. Like weightlifting mode on. This shirt doesn't look like it's selling any, but not a good design. Weightlifting mode on, it's too generic. It doesn't speak to someone's identity. But we have this. Today, I'm a serious goose. It's a fun design. It's silly. It's something that people would wear just because the design is fun and they would want to show their friends. And again, it's selling $137 units a month, which is literally one less than the other one. And that's about $4,800 a month in revenue if they were to sell it at our price. So it's actually really simple, guys. The reason most people fail is because they get the first part wrong. They're not selling the right products and they're selling in the wrong niches. They're not selling to people's identities. They just pick any design, not like I flexed and the sleeves fell off. It's not a bad design, but it's not something that is popping off at somebody. And this is actually like, I've seen a lot of people sell this design and you can have success with it. This one right here sells like $18,000 a month, even at $18.99. But oh, that's interesting. We have some more of what we saw earlier, like the cat father. Let's see what this one sells. So this one is doing 259 units a month. If they sold at the price that we recommend, that would be $9,000 in monthly revenue just from this shirt. And you guys might be thinking, like, this is so simple. And I want to just take you back and let me hold on a sec. Pull up the slides here. Let's go back in time to this. You might think, oh man, this is so simple. This is how we find products like this. We understand everything that I've shown you so far in the workshop, and then we spend a couple hours a week going through designs. And we also have virtual assistants at this point where their whole job is to do this. They just go on places like Amazon and they search for designs. Here are 2 more designs. We look at them, everything hurts and I'm hungry. So this appeals to someone who works out a lot, but they're cutting weight, right? Because they're trying to get a 6-pack. And they want the world to know that about them. They want them to know they're disciplined. It's kind of funny. This right here, if they sold it at the price we recommend, that is $15,000 a month in revenue. We've got another one here. This is selling a ton. If they sold at the price we recommend, $23,000 a month in revenue. The price is an important factor, and the price is why we make so much money. Kevin says, do you recommend selling on Amazon? No. No, I don't. The only time I'm going to recommend selling on Amazon is after you're doing $1 million a year in sales. Essentially, we do sell on Amazon. And the reason we do it is because our brand has gotten so big to the point where people literally go to Amazon searching for it. They search for our brand name. Derek says, is it better to keep a cheaper 100% cotton shirt? Kevin, we don't share our brand anymore. Sorry. We had too many knockoffs. I showed you one of our old brands. This is a brand that we used to have, did over $50 million a year in sales. We actually sold the brand. But due to our business partners and having millions of knockoffs, the reason we could share this one too is because nobody can knock it off because it relies on our brand. It doesn't rely on the designs. It's a different business model. But the reason why we can sell so much is because we understand everything that goes into a design. Okay, let's do a few. Does anybody, let's do like a few more. So like funny or like religious t-shirt. Do a couple more niches here. And it's simple, guys. Look, we see that scripture shirt here too. So, you know, for all we know, that brand that's doing well with it, the one that we shared in the presentation, they came here and they saw it and they decided to sell it. So they're selling 435 a month of these. That'd be $15,000 in revenue at a price that we'd recommend. And we could easily, like, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. You could sell this shirt at $34.99 and you'd have no issue selling it. Man, my throat is like messed up. So again, like no Jesus, no peace. This here makes about $1,500 a month in revenue. I would not try to sell this through ads. This faith shirt is great. It probably does pretty well. It does $3,400 a month in revenue. I would not try to sell this with ads because it is too generic. It's not the kind of shirt that would work with ads. This Yahweh shirt, I would not sell that through ads. But then we get things like the Snicker shirt, or this right here is good, faith over fear. I bet this sells really well. This is one I would sell because it is a cross. It hits two of the interests. It hits that patriotism and it hits that religion. And so if we look at this one, it probably sells pretty well. Yeah, 417 units a month. So that is about $15,000 a month in revenue at a better price point. I can't, but I know a guy. I like this one right here too. This one would probably sell really well because it's just, this is like a much more targeted, like much more passionate, Jesus focused t-shirt. And they're selling 868 a month. So at a good price point, that would be $30,000 a month in revenue. Is that making sense, everybody? We're looking for the things. And that's also where like knowing the niche, by the way, comes in. You want to understand like what people in the niche are passionate about. And to do that, we've got a product. It's called the 5W. Goes more in depth into that. But yeah, let's move on to Etsy. So Etsy for product research. And I know that like it's so simple, the product research that we're going into. And the reason why is because the most important stuff, it's this stuff that we shared. It's the good niche. It's the understanding of identity. It's the understanding of what makes a good product versus a bad product. And then once you understand all that, all you have to do is come here and look at the data and look at what's selling. And then you'll know what works well with ads. Okay. So now we have, you guys can see on the left here, we have Everbee. And that is this product right here. And this software is what we use to research products on Etsy. Again, I'm going to put our affiliate link in the chat. It's scup.net/Etsy. We get like $9 if you sign up to that link. You don't have to. You can just Google Everbee and sign up. But again, let's go to like dog mom shirt. So we can go here and these are some good ones we can look at. Some personalized shirts. And remember, personalization does really well because it allows you to go broad while also being niche, because you can run ads to Boston Terrier moms with this. Okay. And what we can do is Everbee right here gives us this analyze listing button. So that's the Everbee software. We can click that and it allows us to see that this shirt is doing about 2,000 sales a month. It's done 23,000 total sales in the last 13 months. It gets about 300 reviews a month. The price is normally $20. It looks like it's on sale today only. And we can even see it's like average daily sales. So we can see that this is a pretty good design. It generates quite a bit of money. Okay. And we understand, and by the way, we can also see like what it's ranking for and stuff. So if you're an Etsy seller, Everbee is really good. I know some of you guys sell on Etsy. So Everbee is a really good, like if you want to do keyword research, tag research, stuff like that. But we're not going to worry about that because this is for Facebook ads. So this is selling 2,000 units a month. If you were to do that with a $35 price point, that would be a $69,980 a month product. Very similar to one of our products here that is generating $71,000, $330.50 a month. And look, we sold 2,016 units. We're selling that product at about $36.99, I think. So 2016 times 36.99. Oh, no. What are we selling it for? $34.99. So that product is about $34.99. And we sold 2,016 of them. We generated $71,000. And that's because it's a product that sells just like this one. These are the types of products we want to sell. Okay. And then you get a personalization software. So let's see, print on demand suppliers with personalization. We can see here, Printful, Printify, Gelato, Custom Cat, T-Launch, Guten. All these provide customization. And you just use that when you're coming up with it or when you're building these designs. We have another very, very similar design right here. Okay. We have this one and then this one. Analyze listing. We can see that this one is doing about $31,000 a month in revenue. So massive, super profitable shirt. Okay. If they sold it at the price we recommend, it would be a $47,000 per month t-shirt. We can scroll down, see, look for something else. And we can kind of see right here, guys. You can see the ever be list add-on tells us like how many sales they're making right here. So 59 monthly sales, 181. But remember, like this dog mom treat dealer, like these are not shirts that would sell with Facebook ads because they're too vague. They don't speak to someone. And that's why so many people fail, because they'll come here and they'll see, oh, this is selling 181 units a month. It must be a good design. Yeah, it is for this, but it will not get impulse purchases. It'll get some because it's not a bad design. But if we want something that generates tens of thousands of dollars a year, it's got to be better. So we can just scroll down. We just keep looking. And we'll do this for hours, like once a week. We have employees that do it now. And then we can go here. Like I like this one right here. This one's cute. It's another little personalized one. We can analyze the listing. They're selling it way too cheap. It's insane. And they're generating $2,000 a month with it. But if they sold it at a better price point, which is just crazy, they'd make $3,500 a month. That's, I mean, 3,500 times 12, that's $42,000 a year from one shirt. It's not a bad shirt. And this is like what our average product does, by the way, guys. I showed you here that these top 5 products made $1 million basically, but our total sales are 3.47 million. And that other 2.4 million comes from these little products that don't sell a ton, but where'd it go? Like this. They don't sell a ton, but they still add $30,000 a year in revenue. And after you get like 10, 20, 50 of these, they add up. But like I said, this workshop, we're not focused on these. We're focused on getting your first 5 of these so you can have your first 6 figures in sales. So let's keep looking. Here's another one. It's not that great of a design, so it probably doesn't sell that well. But I like that it is for Huskies. It's America. You know, it's a good 4th of July shirt. 4th of July is right around the corner. But the design just doesn't look that great. So that's probably why that one is not selling super well. Let's see. Let's try to see if we can find a Boston Terrier shirt. So again, we're getting hit with this 4th of July stuff right here. 4th of July is right around the corner. So we're going to see a lot of these 4th of July style designs. Selling to holidays, obviously, is something you want to do. So a lot of these aren't selling super well. And to be fair, I would say that's because in this specific niche, it's mostly taken over by personalization these days. I like this one a lot. This one's cute. This is actually a really good design. It looks like nobody's looked at it yet, or this one's really cute. I like this design. So this one, and this is something I would look at too, because although the data says it's not selling super well, Jay, the way you use the tools is really simple. You just click this button, analyze listing, and it tells you right here how much money everything's making. The tools are extremely straightforward. Like if we were to go to this one that's selling, one of these ones that are selling better, you just click this literal, like you come to the page, you can see at the top here, monthly sales, 2,000, total sales, 23,000. And you can click this if you want, or you can click analyze listing right here. And it just gives you all the data. There's like, it's super simple to use the tools. I don't need to do like any tutorials on it or anything, because it's like very straightforward. You know, does that make sense, Jay? I'm going to grab a drink. Jay gave me a reason. He says, yeah. All right. Well, let's keep the show rocking, guys. Does this make sense? Are we understanding Amazon? Are we understanding Etsy? Are we good to go to our last method here, which is Google? Okay, so this one, guys, it doesn't rely on sales proof. Are you guys still with me? Just give me I'm loving it if you're loving everything so far. Not because you're into McDonald's, but because you're loving the training. Loving it, loving it, loving it, loving it. All right, how many of you feel like way more confident now? Just give me a yes if you're feeling way more confident. I'm going to open up my second water. All right, and give me a glad if you were glad you actually decided to join. Those 2 people, there was 2 open spots, 2 tickets that didn't get claimed. Unbelievable. They're missing out on this. Like for some of you guys got in for $17. Most of you guys got in for $27. Like I think this is by far the most in-depth we've ever gone for something that cheap before. So I'm really trying to over deliver for you guys today. Spent a lot of time like working through this and trying to figure out how to make this make sense and fitting it into like a 2 or 3 hour window. Okay. So the last tool we're using, guys, and this is something we use quite a lot too. We probably check on this like once a week, is Google. And specifically, it's going to be Google Shopping and Google Ads. So let's do like right wing t-shirt. Okay. It's something that we'd Google. And what we want to do actually, okay, let's see. I have ads turned off. Let's see. I might have to go to a different browser because I'm using Brave here and Brave blocks ads. Okay. Give me just a second. We're going to switch to Firefox. Okay. Sure. We're going to go back. Okay. What we want is to see the ads. So if you have an ad blocker, you have to turn it off to do this. So I just tried doing it on Brave, but Brave blocks ads, so it wasn't working. But what we want to do is go to Google and we search our niche plus t-shirt. So in this example, we're going to do right-wing t-shirts. And what we want to do is go over here to shopping. So at the top here, you can see shopping. And what we want to do is look for, they changed the design on me. Where are all of our sponsored? Interesting. I haven't done this in like 3 days and all of a sudden the ads are gone. Am I tripping? Or am I blocking ads? Okay, whatever. So we can come here and what we want to look for is not Amazon. So you guys will notice at the bottom of these designs, we have like eBay, and we have Zazzle, and we have Tribe Lacrosse. We have American Trigger Pullers. What we want to be looking for are brands. So we don't want, oh wait, okay, let's see. Somehow changed my Google search. Right-wing conservative apparel. Okay, so here we have ads at the top. This is what we want, is we want the ads. I don't know what just happened. My Google got like all messed up. And what we want to be looking for are brands, okay? We don't want like Amazon. We don't want Walmart. We don't want Etsy. We want brands. And usually what we're trying to look for are the ads at the top, because if people are running ads, they're usually making money. And at the top here, we can see Till Valhalla ads, Zero Foxtrot ads, 9-Line Apparel ads, Grunt Style ads. And then we can go to their store, and that's all fine. That's all good. And you could also go to shop, and you could go to men's tees, and you can sort by featured, price low. You can do all that. But what we actually want to do, guys, is scroll all the way to the bottom of their website, because at the bottom of almost every single website, they link to their Facebook. And what we want to do is click on Facebook right here. Once we click on Facebook, we're going to click on About, okay? And don't worry, if I'm going too fast, you will have the recording. You will be able to work through this. About. Then we click on Page Transparency. And then we can see this page is currently running ads. What better way to see what products will work than ads than to look at brands who are selling products through ads? So we click on See All down here. And then we scroll down, ads from this page. We click on Go to Ad Library. And now we can see all the ads that this brand is running. We can see how long they've been running the ads as well. And we can see that they currently have 130 ads live. And we can see like this is an ad that they just started running like within the last 24 hours. The heaviest burdens are the ones that we carry within. And that's good. This could be a good product to sell, although I actually don't quite understand it. I think, it's for veterans and it's about mental health. We created this tee for Mental Health Awareness Month. Okay, so if I read the ad copy, that would have been. But what I really want to do, guys, is I want to scroll down and I want to look for ads that have been running for a while. Because an ad that they've been spending money on for months means that it's probably making some money. So we can see that this one's been running for honestly, none of these ads have been running super long. They've all been running for like 15 days. But what we can see is it has tons of reviews. And when a product has tons of reviews like this, it means it's selling a lot. So these guys are hitting two different things. Okay. And remember, we talked about this. We talked about social causes and we talked about um, identity in terms of politics and professions. So veterans, right? This is hitting a couple different intersections. It's hitting social causes. So that is the mental health awareness. It is hitting profession, veterans, military, and it is hitting right wing. So we just found a design that's hitting those three, and it's a pretty good design. And we found it by looking at their ad library. And again, you can just scroll through their ad library and you can see this. We can see that this one has 17 reviews. So this one, not as proven, but we see again, it's right wing apparel. Good stuff. Let's go look at one of these other brands that we pulled up. So we've also got Zero Foxtrot here. Same thing. We can scroll down. Chances are they have their Facebook at the bottom. Sure enough, they do. We click on the little Facebook icon. We go to About, Page Transparency. This page is currently running ads. We can see that. Click Z All, and we go to Ad Library. Wow. I see that originally it's Zero Foxtrot now, but we can see that their page was originally titled Zero Fucks. That's interesting. I did not know that. But we come to their page and we can see all the ads they're running. We can see they're running 240 ads, and we basically can scroll down and we can look at products they've been selling for a long time. So we can see a lot of these hats. I saw a shirt up there, which was like a fuck around, find out shirt. This one they've been running since March 31st. So death is cheap. This would be kind of like a right-wing Second Amendment style shirt. Got another one here. So these appeal to veterans, just so you guys know, this brand. And it's kind of like, look how badass I am. I kill people, special forces type thing. March 11th on this one. So again, this is like a veterans Vietnam shirt, a special operations unit shirt. And special operations is a great niche. People are very, very passionate about it. But again, this is about General Mattis, I believe. Right? Is it? I think this is about General Mattis. Or is he a general? Yeah, he's a general. Yeah. So I think that's what this shirt is about, because it's got his name here. So again, veteran shirt, right wing. They've been running ads to it for a long time. You run ads to products that make money. If they keep them on, chances are it's because they did pretty well for them. We've got like some Iwo Jima, so they're definitely focusing on veterans here. But yeah, that's the steps. We just go to their ad library and we can look at what they're selling. And then you can just repeat this process in any niche. We have 9line, another store here. Scroll down to the bottom. Like clockwork, they all have their Facebook down there at the bottom. Just repeat the process. You go to About, Page Transparency, and then you go look at their ads. Go to Ad Library. I know I'm going fast, guys, but don't worry. You're going to get the replay. And then again, we just repeat the process. And now we've researched like 4 competitors in this niche. I just saw something really interesting that I wanted to look at, but it disappeared. Where was that shirt? It looked like they were running a Labubu, which is like these Chinese toys, like a crossover. So again, like look at this, guys. This is really interesting. This is a crossover between Super Nintendo and America. They have like Super America with the Mario text. That's the text from Mario, and it's got like a little pixelated guy. He's doing the little Mario jump. It's Uncle Sam, and it's Super America. It's a 4th of July special they're doing. So it's just a cool shirt, you know? And they've been running that ad for like 20 days now. But yeah, you just scroll down, you see what's selling well, and you just repeat this. Again, we've got a first responder shirt right here. Well, there was a first responder shirt. Yeah. So your bad decisions are my security. So this is like a first responder saying like, you know, you get hurt, That's how I get paid. That's how I keep my job good, you know? And we find it through the ad library. Remember, people run ads to products that make money. Our goal is to find ads that people are making money with. This ad has been running since August of 2024. You don't run ads for nearly a year unless they're making you money. And that is like the most reliable because like we can go to Amazon, we can go to Etsy, but what's better than going straight to the source and seeing products that people are literally selling with ads? Okay, we've been going for a little over 2 hours now. Let me check. I think that might be the only niche I cover for this method because we still have some slides to go through. I want to talk to you guys about the coaching program. But before we do that, questions. Anything, guys. Now is the time. Oh, man, we are crushing it, guys. Let's go. I'm loving this. I hope you guys are loving it. I really expect you guys to take this and actually use it. All right, no questions coming in. Elizabeth says straightforward. And don't worry, guys. I know that that particular process, people get a little hung up on like, how do you get to the ad library? But that's what the replay is for. So let's get back into the, correct, Katie. That is exactly it. Yep. And you can use tools. We're not going to get into like the design of tools today. Recognizing designs does not equal creating them. Correct. Yes. This was not a design workshop. This was a product research workshop. But that being said, I have tons of free information on out there about creating designs with our software. I mean, I'll give you guys an example. We really don't have time. I'll send out a video to you guys about design. Okay. Normally I would, but my parents are coming over in like 30 minutes for my birthday dinner. So I really am on a time crunch here. We're eating pizza. Okay. Let's just keep this going. So the last thing I want to discuss with you guys is our coaching program, just for those of you who enjoyed today and you want more help. And if you follow what I've laid out for you today, it's entirely possible for you to take this and make money in as little as a few weeks. You don't necessarily need us. You can take this, but I cannot give you a timeline of how long it might take for you to hit your goals. It could take you months, even years. And it's basically because you don't have proper feedback. You're out there, you're doing this on your own. I've tried my hardest to give you literally everything. I've tried to make it as simple as possible. I've never gone as in-depth before. Matt has never gone as in-depth as product research. But if you do not have proper feedback, if your store is not built properly for hitting sales and converting people, and if your products lack the emotional punch, which hopefully they don't because it's all we've discussed today, it can be difficult for you to succeed. But the big thing is having access to real-time feedback when unexpected challenges or roadblocks come up in your business. I want to introduce you guys to a client of ours from before Incubator, Max Kulig. He was doing e-commerce as a side hustle. He had a full-time day job and he was just doing it on the side. He desperately wanted to quit his job. He wanted to travel the world and live on the beach. He struggled with not having a clear plan. And some of this might sound familiar with you guys. He was constantly pivoting, trying one thing, then the next thing, and he kept trying random things. He struggled being consistent, and he was confused and frustrated with his progress. He didn't know if things didn't work. He didn't know why they didn't work. And if things did work, he didn't know how to replicate it because he didn't know why it worked, right? But after he joined the incubator, he had 1,000% more clarity on his direction. He feels supported by our team and he has a sense of belonging within the community. He made $250,000 in his first year, quit his job, moved to a beachfront condo that he bought, and is working from paradise every day, just out on the beach. And his goal is to make $1 million a year now. Max said, I love the fact that working with you guys feels like I'm working with friends. Both the SCUP team and other incubator students. I just really love that it feels like we're all friends working together on our goals. And, you know, I'm sure making that $250,000 wasn't bad either. Now, what if I told you that Matt, myself, our team could help you build your own successful store, products, and ads? We'd help eliminate any guesswork. We'll give you a shortcut on your store building journey, help you sell your first product or hopefully your first 1,000, and ensure that you have real accountability you need to achieve success. And you probably don't want to believe this, But the accountability aspect, that's actually the most important part because most people just do not actually work. That's all it requires is work. And by having Matt and my team hold you accountable, that ensures you actually do the work. So with the Scup Incubator, very simple. You get a custom built, done for you Shopify store made by our team. You get one-on-one coaching calls to help you hit the ground running. So think of what we did today, except we're working one-on-one together. It's actually not with me, but it will be with our customer success team. But you get one-on-one calls to make sure that you understand all of the basics. Okay. You get to join an exclusive community of store owners helping one another, leverage proven systems that Matt has spent 10,000 plus hours creating and $20 million spent on ads and on conversion rate optimization and all that. And it'll help you scale your business faster. It'll help you free up more time. It'll help you have more fun. And it'll help you just get all of this done quicker. Okay. The incubator is perfect for regular folks that are looking for a side hustle. You can leverage proven systems and a supportive community to fast track your path to full-time store owner while avoiding many of the pitfalls that keep other founders broke and struggling. Or if you're a store owner who doesn't have consistency, you can uncover the missing pieces that are holding you back, keeping you from getting consistent sales and reaching your true potential. And what the incubator is all about, guys, literally forcing you to start taking action and getting results in the next 30 days. We're going to equip you with a proven framework and systems for building a seven-figure business. We've built 5 different stores from scratch, and they all generated 7+ figures in sales. 2 of them have generated $10+ million in sales. And then we've consulted on 3 other brands, and they all do over $10 million in sales. Just following a system. We remove from you the figuring it out grind because we're doing multiple calls with you a week, and we just tell you what to do. So we'll get you towards that true freedom. We connect you with an incredible and supportive store owner community. We'll create a custom growth plan for you in our weekly training, mentorship, and accountability sessions. And we'll help you create a real impact in your world, your community, your family. And we'll give you the tools to tap into the world's most valuable resource and capitalize on a $600 billion apparel market. And you can start seeing in progress with as little as 90 days. You don't need tons of experience or business know-how. Multiple store owners have used our systems and support to transition out of their regular job to be a full-time store owner. Having your vision or why your goals figured out yet, you'll get access to our Rewire Your Mind for Success, plus my morning motivation matrix that I use to unlock new levels of motivation and productivity for myself and for our students. And even if you don't have a product to sell right now, we've covered that so deeply today, but our team can help you find winning products and show you how you can recreate already winning designs in minutes. You don't need crazy design or tech skills because we've created software for our own stores that will create your ads for you. They'll even create your products for you. So you don't need to hire a designer. You don't need to design products. You can just use our software. You don't need to spend hours and hours online plugged into your business. Little story for you guys. We had a store in 2020 that did $20 million that year, and we sold it. Why? Because we realized that it was eating up every single second of our days. Matt had 2 daughters, and he did not get to see them. He did not get to spend time with them. He would wake up at 6 a.m., work out, and then work until 9 p.m., go to sleep, and repeat. He ate dinners in his office. Turns out, making a bunch of money doesn't mean shit if you can't see your family, if you can't enjoy life, and if you can't enjoy the fruits of your labor. So in 2021, we told ourselves that we were switching up our business model significantly. That's why we built the softwares that automate your business, because we wanted to enjoy our life. And the incubator is all about building a 6-figure or 7-figure business that allows you to actually enjoy the fruits of your labor. I truly believe that you should not need to work on your business more than 2 to 3 hours a day. I think you should be able to make at least $300,000 profit per year without working more than 3 hours a day. And that is what all of this is built around. Okay. And we host calls every week to ensure you never feel lost, stuck, or confused. We hold nothing back, and we're always there to ensure your questions are answered fast. Okay. So everything included in our incubator program. You get all of our courses step by step. So if you want to sell apparel, you get a $2,000 course included. You get a minimum of 60 coaching calls. Those are not one-on-one. Those are our group coaching calls. Okay. It's a $15,000 value. You get access to our community. You get access to 3 one-on-one calls. Those are there to kickstart you. So we'll cover ads, products in your store, the 3 most important things. We discuss those with you one-on-one to ensure that you're completely like no confusion, hit the ground running, have the best store possible, the best ads possible, the best products possible. And we just ensure there's no confusion, because the reason most people fail is they get stuck in those 3 parts. They just don't do any work. Our 3 one-on-one calls do 2 things. They hold you accountable. They force you to get started because we're going to be doing it with you. And then you get it right the first time because we work on it with you. You get access to all of our courses that we've released so far. You get a done-for-you store. And if you already have a store or we've already built your store, you can even talk about getting a discount with our team on call. You get exclusive calls with Matt. And then typically we give you early access to new courses and new software. The total value is $44,000. We're not going to charge you anywhere near that. And in fact, it's about around, I mean, it's not even like 90%. You know, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm sorry. I'm having a brain fart. I've been talking for so long. It's way cheaper than this. Okay. You're not paying 10,000. You're not paying 8,000. Like, it's nowhere near that price. Jesus. I don't know why that was so difficult for me to say. And we can work with you on price. We can find something that fits you. We don't reveal the price on call right here today. You do have to get on call with our team if you're interested in. We can see what works for you. We never want to put anyone in a bad situation or a financial situation they can't afford. And not everyone is a good fit either. I urge you to only book a call with us if you are completely committed to changing your life, because we cannot work with someone who is 1 foot in and 1 foot out. This is for people who saw the content today, you liked it, you know you want to do this, you're 100% you want to do this, and you're 100% certain you want to do it with our team. And you can book a call with us just by going to this link, guys, scup.net/call. Okay? scup.net/call. Book a call with our team. You'll see a page that looks like this. And all you have to do is scroll down here. It says that there's no times available this month. You guys might have seen that. And if it says that, okay, all you have to do is click on this arrow right here or click view next month. Today's the last day of the month, so we just don't have any more availability today. But you can book a call tomorrow, July 1st, July 2nd, July 3rd, and talk with our team. And we're offering a discount for this month only. As of next month, the price is going to be going up 40%. So it'll be honored for anyone on this call. If you want to get in, I would highly recommend booking your call now and talking with our team. You have nothing to lose. It's free to get on a call with us. One of 2 things is going to happen. You'll say, hey, the coaching program does sound like a good fit. I think I want to do it. And our team will talk to you about joining. And if it's not a good fit, then we're going to give you more free resources, just like this call today, that will help you. And either way, you're coming out on top. It's going to be a low pressure call with either Andy or Brandon. All they care about is helping you with your business. They're going to point you in the right direction. They're going to help find something that helps you make as much money as possible, as quickly as possible, whether it's working with us or whether it's not working with us. Okay. We don't really care. We just want to serve you best. But we are raising the prices, not in July, but in August. So I highly recommend you book a call now and get in, because you don't want to pay like an extra $5,000. And that is about how much the price is going up by. So big chance to save a lot of money right now. Why should you choose the Scup Incubator? Caesar hit $10,000 in less than 30 days of joining. Want to jump in here and say thanks to everyone. We're successfully growing and we're going to aggressively test more products. He went to $10,000 in his first 30 days. David hit $3,800 in sales in just 7 days. Tiffany's store went from zero to $30,000 in a single day in 3 months. $0 in sales, and then made $30,000 in a single day 3 months later. Gary, he was 62 at the time, made $100,000 in his first year. Brendan made $4,431 in a single day. Max, who you guys met earlier, woke up to $931 in sales by 8 a.m. So while he was asleep, the business was running and made him $931 while he was sleeping. By the end of the day, he probably, and those are the slow hours, by the way, really picks up in the afternoon. At the end of the day, I'm assuming he had a few $1,000s in sales. What sets the Scup Incubator apart are the systems that you'll discover inside. And they're proven based on experience building stores in 5 completely different industries. They cannot be found anywhere else. It's a repeatable system, guys. We've done it in 5 different industries, and we've generated over $1 million each time. It's a combination of proven systems, community, and personal support. It's not a get-rich-quick strategy. You're not getting hacks that will go out of style next week. These are just the same processes that we've used over and over and over and over again to generate millions of dollars. You're going to learn core entrepreneur skills such as product creation, marketing, advertising, and identifying money-making markets. Basically, everything I've shown you today, except multiple calls like this a week, plus one-on-one calls, plus we work directly with you on your business, your products, your ads. Today, I showed you guys, but you could have our team not just showing you, but literally working with you on your store and your products on these calls. So how long until you decide to take action and start building the life of your dreams? You might be thinking like, well, I kind of want to book a call. I don't know. Maybe I can do it on my own. How many times have you said that before? And not just about this, but about getting in better shape, about asking a girl or a guy out, about dieting, about working out more. How many times have you said, I can do it on my own, I'll get around to it, and then you never did? Probably countless times. That's why the accountability portion of this is so important. Sometimes you really need to push yourself out of your comfort zone and like start snowballing success. It is zero risk. There's like zero commitment. All we're asking you to do right now is book a call. Just go to scup.net/call and just book a call with our team. Really simple to do, low risk. And that could be the catalyst of what changes everything in your life. Because clearly what you're doing now has not served you. It will take change. It will take a little bit of discomfort. But if you keep doing what you're doing now, your life will remain the same. Nothing changes if nothing changes. That's our motto here at Scup, and it has been since 2020. If you want to change your life, if you want more success, it is time to get a little uncomfortable. It is time to push yourself. It is time to try something new. Because if you keep doing the same thing, you're just going to get the same results. As you guys have seen today, we've gone incredibly in depth. We know what it takes to make millions of dollars with these products, and we're willing to help you. I've given you a lot today. You can take it and you can run with it, or you can have us working directly with you on it. And all you guys have to do is go to scup.net/call, book a call with our team, and we'll work with you on this. Tom, the answer to the question is yes. But yeah, guys, the price is going to be going up on this. It's scup.net/call. Go ahead, book a call with our team. I'm sorry, I have to run, guys. I hope you enjoy. Oh, I just muted myself in the middle while I was talking. I hope you guys enjoyed everything today. I got to run because I have a birthday dinner to prepare for. But if you want us to coach you, if you want us to help you get your business to 6 figures, if you want to work directly with our team, book a call, 0 risk. And it's like everything we shared with you today, except on steroids. Yeah. And you have us in your corner working with you on your business every single day. Like that is your shortcut to having success with this business. Scup.net/call, guys. Limited spots available, and the price is going up in a few weeks. So definitely book now. Do not hesitate if you ever want to be coached by us. I'm off to my birthday dinner. I'll send out this recording as quickly as possible. Grab the link, scup.net/call from the chat and book your call. See you guys.